silence does something strange. At first it feels empty, then uncomfortable, and then, if you stay long enough, it becomes honest. Most people try to escape silence. They turn on a screen, they scroll, they distract. But silence isn't empty, it's selective. It removes everything unnecessary and leaves only what can survive without attention. That's how you know something matters. I noticed something once. When life got busy, when days blurred together, when nothing special was happening, some thoughts disappeared, others faded, but a few remained, unchanged, unbothered, unforced. That's when I realized something important. Real understanding doesn't chase you, it waits. Here's a question. When was the last time something stayed with you without demanding your energy? No anxiety, no urgency, just presence. That kind of steadiness is rare, and rare things deserve patience. You know, when we're younger, we mistake intensity for truth. If it feels strong, it must be real. Right? Turns out, some of the strongest things in life barely raise their voice. There's a moment, quiet, almost invisible, when emotion stops leading and understanding takes over. You don't feel excited. You don't feel afraid. You feel aligned. Alignment doesn't rush. It doesn't demand explanation. It doesn't need constant reassurance. It simply fits. I noticed something else. When something is right, you don't need to manage it. You don't rehearse conversations. You don't calculate outcomes. You don't negotiate with yourself. Life stops feeling like a chess game and starts feeling balanced. And balance, real balance, is incredibly calming. Here's something surprising. The absence of emotional spikes isn't boredom. It's stability. And stability is what allows the mind to rest. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt calmer after making a difficult realization? Not relieved, not excited, just calm. That's clarity. And here's where it gets interesting. Because once clarity arrives, it quietly changes everything, without asking permission. Once clarity settles in, you don't talk about it much. You live differently. Your standards recalibrate, your tolerance changes, your energy becomes selective. Not because you're closing off, but because you finally know what fits. Silence no longer feels awkward, time no longer feels threatening, space no longer feels like distance, and that's when you realize something profound. Peace isn't found. It's recognized. It was there all along, waiting for the noise to leave. Most people spend their lives reacting. Very few pause long enough to observe. And observation, real observation, creates wisdom. Not dramatic wisdom, not loud wisdom. The kind that holds steady even when life doesn't. That's the kind of strength that lasts. I never planned to say this, not because I was unsure, but because I was attentive. Some truths don't need urgency, they need accuracy. And if this video felt calming instead of overwhelming, that was intentional. Because the strongest minds aren't built in chaos. They're built in quiet moments, just like this one. If this resonated with you, take a moment to like the video. If you appreciate thoughtful, grounded storytelling, subscribe to the channel. And when you're ready, watch the next video on your screen. Stop scrolling. Because sometimes the most important thing you can do is pause.